My name is Steve Valencia. I'm the chair of the local coalition of Jobs with Justice, here in Tucson, Arizona. And I'm also the president of the board at the Salt of the Earth Labor College. We are now celebrating 20 years of having the Labor College, and I'm very honored to serve on its operating committee in the development of program and classes, etc. It's been quite an honor for me. One of the aspects that was very much needed here in Tucson, was an educational component. Jobs with Justice was created here in Tucson in 1990, but there was necessary to have a component that was educational, and so the Labor College fit that role. And here in Arizona, we have such a history of anti-union, anti-labor laws, and a whole history of attacks on organized labor and labor in general, that we needed something very strong, and we needed to be a part of an emerging movement for workers' rights and worker justice. So the school was needed in order to have discussions, to have topics and classes about the nature of the kind of legislature we have, and the kind of anti-union practices that we've had to live with for a long time. So at any rate, Job with Justice and the Salt of the Earth Labor College complement each other in this movement going forward. One of the things that what we do there on a continual basis is that we will show the labor classic film, Salt of the Earth, and we show it there at our college. And one of the reasons that we show it in a personal kind of a way is that my mother and father are in the film, so I'm able to see my parents when they were very young, and very much engaged, in the struggles for workers' rights. My father was the president of a mine mill and smelter worker local in Los Angeles, and some of us came to realize, that a lot of the film was actually, the footage was taken in Topanga Canyon because of the vigilante attacks on the cast and the characters. When they were filming in Grant County, they had to move the production to California, and so as a result, in the eviction scene, I'm able to view my mother and father being part of the cast. And as a matter of fact, myself and my other brothers were actually on hand as well, somewhere being mischievous, I'm sure. But anyway, I feel a very closeness to the film, and its historical importance has been an inspiration for me all my life. And so the Salt of the Earth Labor College gives us a chance to review some of the accomplishments of the prior generation, the previous people that came about, and it's a way to honor them. There was a time when the trade union movement in this country actually had schools. They had schools much like the Salt of the Earth Labor College, and what they were teaching was the particular position of workers in society, how their unions were supposed to function, and the strength of a union. And they taught the organizational principles that was needed to win any strike or any struggle. At the Salt of the Earth Labor College was inspired by Lorenzo Torres and his wife Anita. Lorenzo was an actual participant in the strike at Empire Zinc, upon which the film is based. And of course, his wife was one of those women that took up the picket lines and leadership of the strike when an injunction was placed on the miners. So Anita played a very strong role, a leader in her own right. And these people were the inspiration behind founding the Salt of the Earth Labor College. And to this day, that legacy continues, and we will continue in the future to honor what they have done and continue with the classes and so forth. I'm really happy to see a lot of the changes that have been proposed in the labor movement, the AFL-CIO. I think that we're living in a time. It is a particularly difficult time for working people, to say the least. But I believe that organized labor is emerging and changing in a way that will help workers get representation on the job and to find some justice and some way how to survive this economic crisis that we're in. But I think that Salt of the Earth Labor College is, in this particular moment, very well positioned in order to greet the changes that are occurring in the labor movement. It's broadening out its partnerships with community-based organizations. It's embracing of all kind of emerging movements, and that can only mean that we're going to become stronger as a labor movement in this country. And I do believe that the school, the Salt of the Earth Labor College, is playing a positive role within this moment, and I believe that its influence will grow, and I believe that our relationship with these emerging movements and the organized sector itself will only improve. So I have every hope that the Salt of the Earth Labor College will grow, it'll continue, and hopefully there'll be other centers just like this one that will be started up in other parts of the country, because these are places of discussion. They're places where education takes place for workers and their journeys toward justice.